there, Taurus, and welcome to Barneco Tarot. I am here with your December 2020 Astro Report and Tarot reading, general. So we're going to look at the big picture. We're going to look at your relationship, if you have one, and we also will take a look at your career and finance situation. I'm also going to be doing an extended reading for this and posting it on my Patreon site. If you subscribe to me over on Patreon, you get access to everything. So you can cross-watch for other signs and do what you will. So, you know, and I'll also do a couple of additional reads in the extended that takes it. So if you're finding that this reading resonates with your situation, you may want to check that out. Link is down below in the description box. But let's jump right in. So Astro Energies. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend you take a look at my video for the collective. We're all working through themes of closure. So your story is going to be different than maybe your neighbor, but you know, due to your sign and whatever other planetary placements that you have that may be getting triggered by this eclipse season. We're, you know, the cool kids are all excited about the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that's happening on the solstice. We'll be able to see it from the 19th for a few days. I think it's about 4 days, where they come together and they look like the brightest star ever. And, you know, very similar to the Star of Bethlehem. So there's also reason to believe that these cycles are also connected to the Mayan calendar stuff in ways that that is a little bit beyond me, because I know that the math there and trying to figure out different dates. I'm just kind of giving you the nuggets. If you want to go deeper in on it, please. And if you want to elaborate in the comments for everybody else, much appreciated. So what does it mean for you specifically, Taurus? Well, the first event is actually already passed, but it's a part of this eclipse season. So I've included it in this report. So November 30th, we saw the full moon eclipse in Gemini. So, so you may have had some tension. It's happening in your second house of values. So while it can mean, you know, paying off debts or, you know, building a new budget and restructuring your finances from scratch, definitely. But it can also be a personal inventory of your inner value system or your inner code. And, you know, things like integrity and authenticity and truth and all of that sort of thing are definitely going to be things that are going to be coming up for your examination. When you get to December the 14th, well, that is the solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius. And at that point, these are much lighter energies for you. And they're actually lighter energies for everyone. It's kind of like we've got some tough stuff at the very beginning of December. We get a little break, and then it gets more and more emotional as we proceed towards the new year. And then once we head into the new year, it's a whole different frontier, but I'll have another video on that. So so yeah, on this in this lighter energy of this solar eclipse, you're going to be looking around, and it's going to be really evident to you how lucky you've been. And so rather than lean into, oh, maybe I should feel guilty, you know, people are jealous of me or whatever, just stay away from that kind of thinking. Just stay in a place of gratitude, because that's really all that's necessary. You know, because everyone deserves to be lucky. Why not you? So, so soak it up and, you know, get in there. So your third event is going to be the solstice, like I said, which is the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. Many astrologers are saying that this is the threshold into the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces. It's going to take a long time to get into that, but this is definitely where we're seeing a significant shift. So once we clear out all the stuff from the past that isn't working for us anymore, a lot of us are turning, well, all of us are turning a new page in a new book of our own existence. So, and in our story, we're starting to write a new story in a completely new energetic environment. So you're going to feel the pull. And, you know, you've had Uranus in your sign for the last 2 years now, I think now. And it's going to be with you for another at least 4 to 5. And Uranus is actually kind of shaking you up a bit. So you've probably been incrementally seeing that movement into the new was coming. That you could feel the closure. So you may find yourself in the new year feeling the itch to travel, to broaden your horizons, to stretch your boundaries, and get out of your comfort zone, but with a sense of adventure. So drop the baggage, have some fun, and move along to your next adventure. That's kind of the theme for you, Taurus. So let's put that away for now. And I'm going to start with my Klimt Tarot deck so that we can get an idea. Pardon me, Taurus. What's happening for you in the big picture? What is this eclipse season bringing to Taurus? Ooh, wow, okay. You know, normally I don't like it when my cards jump, so I'm not like a big let them fly all over the table thing. I wait until the singles show up. So, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on for you, Taurus. Maybe a sense of urgency, like you really have your hands full with something. My light, hold on a sec here. There we go, that's better. Still figuring out my text setup here. Okay, so, all right. And one last one for Taurus 2020. I saw the Empress there. And we got the King of Cups as your last card. So, Taurus, it's ending on a lovely note. King of Cups, emotional availability, new emotional sensibility, new relationship, maybe even with water sign. So what are the surrounding energies for Taurus? Just like I was saying, broaden your horizons. The Six of Swords is all about movement. It's about movement from drama and chaos into something a lot calmer, to something a little bit smoother, and not as challenging. So you've got the Seven of Pentacles in the past session. Oh, 2 sevens, and a 4. Okay. So, the Seven of Wands in this particular deck is very interesting. Seven of Wands is about boundaries. But I also see the Seven of Wands in here as being, you know, because this drama that's being depicted in the card is pretty intense. And if you see, he's got a sword. And he's aiming it at one of his demons. But this is not the way to resolve your demons. Your demons are in disguise as monsters, but they're really just fragments of you. And so maybe you need better boundaries, and you're taking a bit of a rest to figure out how to develop healthier boundaries. You know, because you've planted a lot of seeds, but you've also been fighting demons. So, you know, it's like, what energy are you bringing to the seeds that you're planting? So in your present circumstance and situation, yeah, there's a lot of confusion as to what your next move should be. And you're right on time. That's, you know, you check with your friends. Seriously, do a poll around the dinner table and see if the people around you are dealing with letting things go, letting baggage go, letting heartbreak go. Three of Swords. So there's some grief happening. There's also the dangers of, in this card, because every deck and every artist's interpretation introduces a little bit more symbolism. So the Seven of Cups traditionally is really just about confusion or options, just having too many choices, essentially. But in this card, the woman is kind of feeding off of something here. And then, of course, we got all those cups. So, there might be a temptation to drink a lot as a result of the grief you're feeling. And the sort of, the Two of Swords in this deck too. It's like, you're not the only one who's feeling the pain of what's going on here. And so now is the time for grief. And it's not comfortable. And we don't want to do it. But the last thing you want to do is to stuff this stuff down, because then it disguises itself and it pops up later in another situation and becomes a tool that you can self-sabotage with. So the energy, the weather, everybody in your community is purging something. So if you think that you're the only one, you're not. You're very much on time and in the flow of what the universe is asking of all of us right now. So as we go into the future, on the surface of things, there's a lot of fights. And what's happening within you is that you just don't want to deal with it. You kind of want to turn your back on it all, and reach for something that's far more emotionally fulfilling. So I'm going to clarify each column for this part of the reading. I'll go deeper in the extended, and so if this story is resonating with you, you can follow me along there. So in the past, there's been some drama. You've managed to keep a fairly good distance from it as you juggle your own stuff. So to a certain degree, you have been exercising your boundaries, which is, sort of the surface level of what this card represents. So as you keep the boundaries really, really strong around you, as you process things, you're going to find balance in that. So for the present time, it's about communicating truth with an idea to completely rip the veil off the illusion of the situation. It's very clean, it's very clear, and precise. Keep it short and sweet. If you got to say something to people, and don't do it under the influence. That's not advice for any sign right now. If you're under the influence, maybe listen to some music. So Taurus, where do we expect you to go in the future? Well, in terms of turning your back on all the crap and looking to a brighter future, that's so what you're doing. King of Swords. Yeah, it's like the ultimate authority has spoken. This is the truth. And that's final. That's kind of, and the King of Swords, like, he's an authority. So the hidden energies around all this too, maybe around a lover. So as opposed to a partner, You know, the lovers, when I look at this card, there's distance between them. You know, it's a partnership, but we don't see them together. So that part of their relationship may be hidden. And what we do see here is a yearning. So I'm going to put that aside for now as your general reading. And scooch these up. And let's take a look at your relationship situation with a sample mini diagnostic for relationship diagnostic. So when I do private readings with these cards, my entire table is usually filled, but it's amazing how much insight you can get into the dynamics that each person is bringing to the table. So that's you. And I'm going to pull another one. Ooh, that's your partner. And then for the relationship, too late, I put it out. So energy surrounding your relationship. This is kind of, I don't know. What do you think? What specialness and what this picture, it's like I see two narcissists. Sorry. But, you know, and in some ways, two narcissists can make a perfect pair. You know, as well as that it's, because it is a problem. This card does suggest it's a problem. Oh, the sex was good. Orgasm. Or it could have, you know, I mean, the pictures kind of show that. But if I don't look at the pictures and I see specialness as being a problem, is that there could have been a lot of illusions around what this connection really was about. So let's take a look at you, Taurus. Sensuality. Oh yeah, the sex was good. So, there we go. Sensuality. Ooh, the problem. Boom. Bad choices. Sorry, Taurus. We're all having to face some uncomfortable truths right now. Seriously, you are not alone. So you don't get to, you know, judge yourself on the inside at all. In fact, the whole challenge for us all is to accept our darkness, to accept our shadow, integrate it. Don't try to kill it. You need to integrate it for what it really is, because it's not the monster that you think it is. It's just a little part of you that needs to be heard. Okay? So, yeah, I got this in another reading. I can't remember which one. Maybe Virgo? So, this is the problem, is that, you know, the puzzle pieces that each of you are bringing to this situation, it doesn't fit. So, you may be trying to, you know, you might be a little in your head. You know, we've got the Four of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, you know, and you've probably been really hard on yourself in the past, which is one of the reasons why we make bad choices. Because if we're too strict with ourselves in terms of what we should do, what we should be doing, or should be doing, then you've already lost the battle. We all make bad choices. The whole point is to learn from them. We can also, you know, we all also fall for illusions. So again, you know, be kind to yourself as you work through your situation. All right, so now I'm going to pull one card from Marshall McLuhan's Distant Early Warning deck, created in 1969. And basically, what Marshall did was he created this deck. I still have, you know what? I guess I'm, okay, I'll take that one. He created this deck for the boardroom so that businessmen could actually use it like tarot to kind of stimulate if they were getting stuck in a brainstorming session or problem solving. So they're very interesting because Marshall McLuhan, he put a quote on each card. So while I'm still learning cartomancy, we can still glean a lot of stuff. Now, Marshall McLuhan is really different. So I'm not going to interpret his card. I will clarify with a Rider-Waite to give a little bit more support to it, but I'm going to leave it to you to see how it's resonant. And if it really pops for you, please share your comments down below. So we've got here the Jack of Clubs. So there we go. I'm going to read that. Oh, is that upside down? It is. Okay. When you're flat on your back, don't raise your head or your friends will kick your teeth in. When you're flat on your back, don't raise your head or your friends will kick your teeth in. And this is the Jack of Clubs. So clubs tend to represent wands. So there could be a fire sign that is a part of your situation. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But if you do have a fire sign out there who, you know, let's not take it as a literal warning for now. So the tarot for your career and finance. I'm so sorry. El Diablo. It's okay. It's okay. You may be so consumed with the situation that you're dealing with in a relationship or emotionally, something in the personal realm of things, and it's got you running a little scared, because you don't feel like you're in control. So this is where the negative self-talk comes in. This is where the acting out comes in. This is where the overindulgence comes in. And really, just watch the mental chatter that you have, because this is also kind of something that we're supposed to be purging. If you've got negative self-talk that comes from parents or grandparents or teachers or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It comes from so many different sources. You can't really pin the blame on any one individual. So at some point, somebody said something mean, and and so it created a sense of doubt or a sense of poor perception of who you really were. So the situation and the circumstances in your life right now may be showing you. Remember how I said that on the 14th, something is going to happen that's going to show you just how lucky you are. So, and that all of these ideas that everything's falling apart or that you don't have control over your life, you're just grieving. And so again, be kind to yourself and don't allow yourself to beat yourself up on the inside, because it's going to take, I hate to say, the universe just might really wind up and smack you in the back of the head, Taurus. So be really careful and be very mindful and have a lot of respect for your grief and pain and all the wounds that you have, and honor them. Put them up on pedestals inside and, honor those feelings. Taurus doesn't like to feel weak. Taurus likes to be strong. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think most of the Tauruses I know really cry. You'll never see that with me. They would, rather punch something than cry or scream or stomp or whatever. Crying is weakness. And I'm telling you right now that the big theme for the last month and a half, 2 months, if not longer, has been for the collective to recognize that vulnerability is our superpower. I'm going to say it again. Vulnerability is our superpower. So if you've got ideas about crying that make you feel weak, no, your strength is in your vulnerability. Your tears, wear them with pride, because we're all facing so many crazy challenges. We can only be so strong, just to make other people more comfortable. If you're crying makes somebody uncomfortable, ask them to leave. If it makes you uncomfortable to cry around others, fine, leave the situation and go cry and throw stuff at the same time. But this is sacred. Grief and pain and your inner wound, your core wound. This is sacred stuff. And you're being supported by the divine. So enough about me preaching. And I'm just going to get to the Oracle of E, my favorite Oracle cards, just because they're just so cool. And they're short, sweet, and to the point. So, oh my God, Taurus, I'm afraid to look. Okay. So, psst. Hey, you. I think the universe wants your attention. So, meditate, pray, do whatever you got to do to make a deeper connection with the divine so that you can process all of your pain, all of your self-doubt in the most sacred way you possibly can. So Taurus, I am going to leave you here. If you found this reading was resonant and you would like to join me over at Patreon, the link is down below. I'll be going deeper into the tarot, deeper into your relationship. I think we've said enough about your career. And then I'm going to do a Lenormand spread which is kind of a long-term outlook. And Lenormand provides a different kind of symbolism that can be really insightful in terms of seeing where we're going. And other metaphorical kinds of things that can bring more clarity to your situation. So if this is where I leave you, Taurus, thank you once again for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever you got to do. And take care of yourself. Take really good care of yourself, okay? We'll see you again.